Hey everybody, Happy New Year! It's Annie Figure Therapy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 1/8 scale Nisemonogatari Good Smile Araragi Karen from Nisemonogatari. But yeah, so finally we get to take a quick look at the companion piece that goes with the tsukihi figure that they came out with. Now honestly, this figure is super huge, so my camera setup had to be a little different today, and I had to push it back, so you kind of see all the other like crap that I put around here, but hopefully I can get that fixed soon. But yeah, I've had this figure for a while. I just never opened it. This is my second time owning this figure, because the first time I actually owned the figure but without the paper box. I only had the plastic insert and the figure itself. So yeah, that was interesting. So I definitely know what to expect, but let's just go ahead and jump into this. Here's the front of the box. Now this figure retailed for around 11,238 yen, so which is the same price as the tsukihi that she kind of goes with. So that's pretty cool, and a lot of the same motifs in terms of all the boxes. Everything, or one thing I don't know if I really mentioned on the other reviews, is that all the pictures are actually gloss. So all the characters in the pictures are gloss, but the background is matte. So that's kind of a cool little detail. And then and that's like from her opening, which is Marshmallow Justice, which is one of my favorites. And yeah, so definitely a really cool box. I've always liked her style. She kind of has this like fire about her. Yeah, she almost seems like a Studio Trigger character for me personally. But let's go ahead and pop her open. So, yeah. Now, on the aftermarket right now, luckily, she is the cheaper of the two sisters. So basically, she is a little bit easier to find. Although I feel like she's more famous because of her famous toothbrush scene. But yeah, and I also feel like she definitely comes with more. So if you're looking for value between the two, I would actually go with her, just because the steamroller piece that she comes with is actually really cool. And here's the inside of the box, which is this very nice blue. It matches really well with the yellow, which is unexpected. And there's a lot of little bees in there, which is cool. So for those of you who don't know, Karen's like apparition, or the thing that she's kind of plagued with, is like a bee, and it's like a fire bee, and or I think in the anime they say like hornet or something, but yeah, and that's her arc, so it's Karen bee. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pop it open. Okay, awesome. So go ahead and put that to the side. Take the figure out. Now, okay, so I will say, the previous time that I actually owned this figure, her jacket would not stay on for the life of me, and it was kind of annoying. And what I ended up doing is I just used like blue tape, like painter's tape, and just put some on the inside of her jacket to make it just stick there. Just why I chose blue painter's tape is because it won't, residue won't come off of that tape, and it won't damage the figure anyway. Of course, if you use stuff like blue putty, or like poster putty, I think it's called, or sticky tack or blue tack, that stuff will damage figures. I put it on my walls once, and it actually left a mark on my wall. So I definitely recommend staying away from stuff that seems permanent, or that has some sort of residue that can come off of it. So like standard tape, that kind of stuff. But let's see if this one has a little bit better. Maybe mine just had a molding issue, but we'll see. Okay, let me see how I can get this out. The tricky part is, okay, so ultimately down here, I'm gonna keep cutting. Isn't that the answer to everything? Just keep cutting. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there it goes. So, let me go ahead and see. So, while I fumble with this, so unlike the Tsukihi figure, she does not have a variant. So of course, Tsukihi is known for her various like yukata costumes, but of course there's only one costume of Karen in her like standard outfit. Of course there's her other ones, which is like her school outfit, or the one where she gets like orally raped, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's something. Oh, interesting. Okay, so, and there's the base. So let's go ahead and see if I can get a little closer. That way the camera can focus on just the figure itself. So there's that. And let's see if the jacket has a problem. But first off, let's take a quick look at the figure. So, the figure itself is really, I guess the word, like, I'm trying to stop using this word because I feel like I say it in every review, but I'd say dynamic. Just because a lot of, like, the flowy nature of her, not jacket, her tank top, and also like how her hair kind of like goes in the wind is very akin to like how her character is, because like, you know, if you ever watch the anime and you just watch what she does, there's never like a silent moment with her. She's always like, you know, justice and like, you know, hey, like let's go fight these people. Even when she's sick, okay, mild spoiler, but even when she's sick, she's all like, I gotta go fight him and blah, 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 and like all this stuff. And so she's super hot-headed, but then she's also kind of dumb, and that's like kind of her gimmick, you know? She's a very fun character in that sense. Yeah. Whereas like Tsukihi is just angry all the time. But yeah, so much like all the other Monogatari scales from Good Smile, there's a ton of really good shading around here. Like her feet, a lot of that gray is shaded in shadows. And then also like her shorts, like I really like how this fold in her pants actually curves in, and it makes a really nice like deep indentation, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then also like her skin has a slightly different texture to it, so like her socks are like a gloss, and then her skin just transitions into this nice matte color. So yeah, and then her face is just perfect. Like honestly, that's like perfect Karen. I think what would have been cool is if she had like a winking face, because she does this thing where she says like hasta vista, and then she kind of winks as she said that. But yeah, so there's that. And then let me go ahead and pop it on the stand really quick, just so I can position that jacket. But here's the stand. Now, like I said, in terms of value, I'll show it later compared to the Tsukihi. But like, since they're both the same price back then, but now of course Tsukihi is the much more expensive one, retailing around like 200 to 250. This one's more of around like 100 to like 140. I haven't really seen it go beyond that in case of like pre-owned, but new is around 150 and up. But yeah. So the steamroller itself is actually pretty full plastic. Like I wouldn't say it's hollow, but it is a hefty piece of plastic. And honestly, my old copy was really nice because it felt really solid. I never really had to worry about it like falling off of the actual stand. But like, of course, the jacket was the biggest issue. But the detail itself is cool. I really like how it's at an angle. So when you put it on a shelf and it backs up against like a 90-degree angle, it'll always be at its own angle, and that makes it all the more interesting because then you can see a lot of the details on the side of the steamroller. So yeah, and there are plenty of really nice details on there. There actually are a bit of moving parts. So there's these little lights that move, which is cool. I like that nice little detail. And then there's a lot of like clear parts. It's a very just well done piece of diorama. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever get to it, but I do have the Alter Senjogahara, and that one has a really nice like staircase piece that I just really enjoy. I think I really like it when figures also have a diorama to kind of go along with them. So let's go ahead and pop that in. Nice and tight there. And what's cool is because of the weight of the steamroller, you do notice that this lip part is actually raised above the ground because, you know, a steamroller, the steamroller part would be on the ground. But yeah, so it definitely maintains her weight, and how she is she's kind of like kicking off of the steamroller itself, so, or the barrel of the steamroller. But yeah, so there's that. And then finally, the jacket. Like I said, or like much like the shorts, the jacket is really nice. A lot of really nice shading in there. I really enjoy a lot of these really deep curves, and the whole inside is just basically a darker color, which definitely works out. And then her egg is just perfect. But let's see. You know, it's funny because you'd think like something like a magnet would be great for this figure, especially since this piece is supposed to be at an angle and like kind of flowing upwards, but because of gravity, because this does weigh a little bit much for her shoulders, it falls off just like that. So that's a big thing. I guess like my gripe with the figure. Like trying to wedge it in between her cheek and stuff is a little bit worrisome, because yellow is a color you don't really want to mess with in terms of like pale, because a lot of times, like if you guys didn't know, when the figures come protected, they all have like these random bits of plastic, and that's for paint protection. And obviously, like, you know, sometimes you'll actually see the paint rub off onto another part of the figure, and of course that's no bueno. So yeah, but yeah, ultimately, there's not much else to say about the figure other than the fact that it's really nice looking. A lot of the details are great. My only gripe would be that jacket issue, but for now, it seems like it's staying. I think that is the predetermined spot on her shoulders. It's supposed to kind of hook onto her shoulders. But yeah, ultimately, that's pretty much it for this kind of a little bit larger scale review. But I will bring in her sister here just to kind of see what it's all about. If her sister doesn't want to fall off of her base. Alright, there we go. And let me go ahead and bring this over here and bring her in here. So they definitely look really nice together. Like, I think it would have been cool if they actually had paired it so there's like an asymmetrical half. So maybe like her like cut half of the steamroller would line up with her half of the jungle gym. That way, you know, they kind of meet in the middle, creating like a double diorama, and that would have been great. But you know, it's cool too, but her base seems just really lacking compared to her and some of the other Monogatari scales that we'll get into in the future. But still, it's a really nice pairing to put together, especially since the quality for both of them is pretty much a match. The only thing is, she doesn't like to stay on her base, but she's like perfect. So that's like, I guess, the only gripe of having them both together. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.